Right, in the upcoming video we're going to take some of this raw material and turn it into a high performance skimboard. Stay tuned to find out how to do it. Okay, welcome back to another video everybody. I'm Sam Price from OXS Enterprises, now based up here in the Bay of Islands, New Zealand. This video is all about a custom skimboard build, and this particular video is about a medium splurge for wave riding, conventional wave skimming here in New Zealand. Now this is a custom application. Basically the customer comes to me with what they want, sort of what they're thinking, with my guidance and shape, sizes, all that sort of stuff. We then agree on something, they pay, and basically this is where we get to. So the order for this board here was just a medium splurge 20mm carbon, and she'll have a tail pad attached. She wanted some red and green, and so basically my brief here is to add a bit of red, bit of green. We're going to try to run a couple different colours, some darker, some lighter. We're going to run like a split colour down the middle. Where we get to from here right now is to pick the layout. I'm not going to give you glass weights or anything like that, but we've got fiberglass, we've got carbon fibre. The boards get a layer of carbon fibre on each side, which basically means, I've touched on this before in videos, carbon fibre is not light. It's just the fact that it is so strong. These are the same weight cloths here, so this weighs just as much as this, but this is so much stronger than this, we don't need as much of it. So the carbon fibre actually makes for a lighter skimboard, more responsive and stiffer board. It's also much more costly. I believe here in New Zealand our costs for this over this, even though they're the same weight, this is about 11 times the price of that, what you see here. So to put it into context, that's why carbon fibre is more expensive to produce. We also run high density foam. As you can tell by that, it's very different to surfboard foam, very expensive, very good. So I'm going to get this board underway and I'm going to show you what I can, and then she goes through a vacuum process this afternoon hopefully. Okay, so blank cut. This is obviously just straight out of the sheet foam. These lines here are taper lines. Now the splurge model runs a taper front, back, rail to rail. I would say that's pretty bloody common with most wave skimboards. Because this is a 20mm blank, for American measurements that's a little over 3/4, the 3/4 measurement. So that what this does is that it retains a nice fat part of the board through the middle while tapering down to 15mm around the sides. Increased maneuverability, increased performance, I guess a little fraction drop in weight, overall a great performing blank. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this shaped, and I actually run perforated foam. Now I don't believe, don't know if anyone else is doing this, I perforate it here. What this does is it actually attaches a resin column from the bottom to the top of the board via little pinholes throughout the board. Pretty basic stuff as far as I'm concerned, but a great pro for the board. Okay, so here's the blank, it's sort of 90% ready. This next step through the vacuum is pretty much sworn to secrecy, glass weights I won't tell anyone, things like that. So pretty much this is going to come out looking damn near close to finish when you see it next. Okay, so board's off the mold. She's had a rough cut around it. This is what it looks like. Obviously at this stage of the process there's not really a hell of a lot. That last stage it's just gone through is basically gets the majority of the board done. All we're going to do from here, got to give this a sand up now, so she's going to look a little worse before it looks better. Gloss coat the resin down on the bottom, and then of course logos and final glass on the top. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to hit this with the sander and get this gloss coat down. Okay, so we're up. Next step right now is the deck. The deck's about to get some logos and its final layer of fiberglass. All I've got to do is get this layer of peel ply off here, trim her up, sand her up, and get these logos, fiberglass down. The board's really comes together at this stage and is almost complete. Okay, so logos. The guy wanted black, so of course he's getting black. Now I print these here, I've done a video on it before, and we also get like a serial number added to these, which basically means if there's any issues down the road, which there won't be because it hasn't happened, You can just basically read out the serial number and I can tell you what board it is and where we go from there. This is the finesse part. This is the last layer of fiberglass. This is actually the lightest fiberglass layer that goes into one of the carbon boards. And it's saved for last. The board itself is looking fantastic. So all we're going to do here, get that on, make sure any crap's out from under it. Sort of go standard logo positions, one there, the little one back there, and the big one up by the nose. Mix some resin, get the resin down, easy peasy. Okay, so board, all the resin work now is basically final. All is that happens from here, this is kind of the last day, the last stage, is it gets a tidy up sand, a little bit of a clear coat on the base just to touch up, and this particular one will actually get a Sticky Johnson tail pad. Now usually we run like a Sticky Johnson tail pad as well as the arch bar. Arch bars aren't necessary. I do view, if you're going to spend the money on getting yourself a good wave board, I do view a tail pad as an absolute must. I think it's an additional cost, but it's basically an absolute necessary as far as I'm concerned. Another kind of 49 bucks to the price of the board, worthwhile investment. So all that's going to happen now, this is going to get its final little bit of polishing up. This is going to get put on and then it'll sit for a little while to get ready to go send out. Before the final sand and prep is done, one thing I haven't mentioned here is most of the decks, and by default I finish these decks in a textured finish. Now what this means is a lighter finish. It is a quicker and it's an easier finish for myself in giving you a lighter, better product. So they don't have to be a textured deck, but one thing they do require is a light sand to put the pad on. Now I've already just marked this pad out. I'm going to hit it with a sander now. I'd advise using just any sandpaper sanding block, anything to sand it if you can do it yourself. I do it here at no extra cost. Get the pad on straight, get the board clean and get it finished. So here we have it, board is finished, looking pretty damn good. Really cool colour scheme, medium splurge in carbon, nice light, super strong board. Now this package here is $508 sent here nationwide. In New Zealand you can of course do international shipping, and you can of course customize it to what suits. So that has been a board build video. I have touched on these in the past, would like to do some more, and we'll also be doing a few from some other upcoming product. That's it, I'm Sam Price, I'll see you at the beach.